At the end of the Demon Slayer story, we're told that all of our characters got reincarnated in the modern day. So starting with Tanjiro, he became a boy named Sumihiko Kamado, who still has amazing abilities and once got scolded by his family and the police for jumping over buildings on the way to school. Next up, we have Toko Agatsuma, and she's the big sister who pushes her brother to always try his best, with a dream of becoming a prosecutor in the future. Her brother Yoshiteru is Zenitsu's reincarnation, and a fun fact about him is that he's been hit by a truck protecting Toko, and he tends to be very unfair to others, despite being a good guy inside. We also find out that Inosuke was reborn a little earlier than his friends, as he was reborn as Aoba Hashibira, who was a legendary doctor studying the blue spider lily, but eventually lost his job and became friends of Sumihiko, who found him crying in the park. There's others who were brought back like Rengoku and the Hashira, so let's cover them in our next part. Over the course of the series, we've had the sad fate of watching every Hashira, Giyu, and Sanemi die. However, by the end, we see everyone reincarnated in the modern day, with Rengoku, who was the first to go, being reborn as Tojudo, an extremely positive boy who says thanks even when he gets insulted. After him, Shinobu and her sister Kanae were both reincarnated as two beautiful girls who go to the school Tanjiro's reincarnation goes to. For Obanai and Mitsuri, they were born as a happy couple who runs a restaurant, finally getting their happy love story. As Muichiro and his brother are both reborn as well, as twins once again, who are still babies in the modern day. Uzui the Sound Hashira was reborn as a man named Tenma, who was a world-renowned gymnast, with Gyome the Stone Hashira being reborn as a very large kindergarten teacher, mimicking his role before the story began. Lastly, we see Sanemi and Genya together as two cops who became brothers after scarring each other, and we even see that Yorichi was reborn and has a happy family, with Giyu being reborn as well, along with his friend Sabito. At the end of Demon Slayer, we see that all of our Hashira and characters are reborn into new happy lives, but if you've noticed so far, I've never mentioned any of the demons being reborn. In the world of Demon Slayer, all of our characters got to be reincarnated as a reward of good karma for the days they suffered against the demons. However, the demons were all placed in circles of hell, with them needing to be there for quite some time to work off their bad karma and finally get reincarnated. The closest thing we have to reincarnations for the demons are their lives in Kimetsu Gakuen, a modern day version of Demon Slayer that mirrors the world found at the end of the series in many ways, where Muzan, instead of being the king of demons, was reborn as an evil politician, struggling to get any of his evil laws passed because he thinks Ubuyashiki is paying off journalists and other members of Congress to get in his way. And in the next part, we'll discuss what the other Upper Moons are reborn as in this official universe. We've discussed what happened to Kokushibo and Muzan after they were reborn into the world of Kimetsu Gakuen, but they aren't the only demons who managed to finally get reincarnated, with us finding out what eventually came of Doma after his time in hell. According to the databooks, Doma was reborn as a scam artist whose real name and age is unknown, but he's so famous for his crimes that he's been covered in special programs on the TV. But despite all of these incidents that he's been involved in, there's never been enough evidence to lock him away. Apparently, after meeting up with Mitsuri's reincarnation and trying to scam her, likely with one of his famous fortune teller schemes, he actually went missing after Obanai and Mitsuri returned to confront him with the words, "I had a feeling you were lying," being heard at the scene before the man was never seen again. We may have just spent a bunch of time with Demon Slayer Season 3, but did you know the demons from Demon Slayer Season 2, Daki and Gyutaro, actually got somewhat of a happy ending after the end of the series, when everyone eventually gets reincarnated either into the main story or the Kimetsu Gakuen official side series. In this new life, the siblings are reborn as Gyutaro and Ume Shibana, and according to Kotoge, the Shibana siblings are the greatest delinquent siblings in the history of the academy. They frequently cause trouble, and they often butt heads with Tanjiro. Kotoge says the sister Ume is beautiful, so she has lots of fans and they never stop giving her presents, causing her to set a record of getting 20 confessions from a guy in one day, because she's one of the 3 most beautiful people in the school, and from her view on the back of Yutaro's awesome motorcycle, the two have the freedom to go wherever they want and finally be happy.